Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Dan Wolf. Dan Wolf. Dan Wolf. Dan Wolf here. Smoky Mountain. Smoky Mountain. Smoky Mountain Magic. Smoky Mountain Magic. Smoky Mountain Magic. Dan Wolf. Smoky Mountain Magic. Welcome to my workshop. Gotta show you this. I'm excited. I gotta show you this. We just finished it up.
I'm sorry it's not to scale and I didn't have time to paint it.
I gotta show you this. I'm on the case. You're gonna love it. Trust me. Here's what I have. This is what we've got, man. Here's what we got. It's done, my friend. Here's what I did this morning. I got something different for you. It is done, man. You got it. It's gonna be beautiful. Wait till you see this. You are going to love it. Hey, y'all. Dan Wolf, Smoky Mountain. Do I really have to say that again? 10 years for Smoky Mountain Magic. Hard to believe it's been that long. Well, we thought we'd take this auspicious occasion and give you a little background on how we ended up doing what we're doing, and maybe a behind-the-scenes peek at how we do what we do. Well, any story like this is gonna have to start with once upon a time. Way back when I was a teenager, I decided I was going to be the next David Copperfield. Yeah, I know. The problem was, we already had one of those, and he was a lot better than I was. But I worked my butt off. I did eventually get better. Honest, I promise I got better. Magic became my life. For 20 years, I traveled as a professional magician, living the dream, baby. All over the world, Finland, Germany, the Czech Republic, Russia. They love me in Russia. Go figure. So it continued for 20 years, and then I met a young lady. We fell in love. I asked her to be my wife. To my shock and surprise, she said yes. I decided I didn't want to be on the road anymore. I wanted to stay home and play with this little redhead I'd just married. So, what marketable skills did I have when I wasn't on stage? Good question. Well, when I wasn't performing, I was usually inventing and building the magic I used on stage, and I started building for other performers when I wasn't on the road. So, we decided to take what meager savings we had and start a business. January 7th, 2007, this was Smoky Mountain Magic. Well, not all of this. This. We rented the tiny little storage space off of the back of these folks' loading dock. Oh, I've been in bigger bathrooms. You couldn't rip a sheet of plywood lengthwise without opening the front doors. No bathrooms, no running water, no heat, but it was a start. And so we got started.
Then Chalet Magic offered us the license for the Mini Cube Zag. We took it and ran with it. We built a lot of custom items, a lot of one-of-a-kinds, a lot of, hey, can you make something like this? Sure, we always said. But a lot of it was actually stuff that I had invented for my own act years ago. And some of it actually kind of took off. Then one day my good friend Fred Becker got a hold of me about an idea I had called This End Up. He said, "Can we have it by this summer?" I said, "Let's find out." Remember, all this amazing stuff came out of that little bitty workshop on Milligan Highway. We bought plywood one sheet at a time, because if we weren't cutting it up and putting it into something, we had no place to put it. We had to build illusions one at a time, because until we sold it, packed it up, and shipped it out, we didn't have room to build the next one. Well, business was booming, and we soon outgrew the little cubby hole on Milligan Highway and decided to move on to greener pastures. Actually, we got thrown out. Yeah, the landlord decided his business wasn't doing so good, so he wanted to sell the place. And the new landlord wasn't completely sure what it is we were doing back there in that storage room, but whatever it was, he didn't want us doing it there no more. So, we had to find a new home. And we did, on the other side of Johnson City, 212 East Springbrook Drive. It was glorious. Well, maybe not glorious. It was an uninsulated concrete block building and impossible to heat, but It was about 100 yards back from the street. It was quiet. It was private. No neighbors to bother. No dock workers wandering in on their smoke breaks saying, "What are you guys building today?" It had an actual office, which was just about as big as the old workshop was. It had bathrooms. Yes, no more late night trips out behind the dumpster hoping the rabid raccoon wasn't already out there. It had running water, not hot water, but water. And best of all, it had 4,700 square feet of glorious freedom. Room to build whatever we wanted, baby. So what did we do with all this freedom? We did this.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Smoky Mountain Magic Workshop.
We put out some amazing stuff. Then July 4th weekend, 2012, we got some news that they were gonna bulldoze the place. Why does this keep happening to us? We had 3 weeks to get out. So we went on the search once again for a new home for Smoky Mountain Magic. Our search took us to 1186 Bristol Highway in Elizabethton, Tennessee. It was a little on the rough side in certain places, but it was available right now. So we packed up, hightailed it to Elizabethton, and got to work. We have a rather diverse clientele. They're always creative and they always have very specific requirements for their show. We accommodate them as best we can. It's always a lot of fun. This is the Ark of the Covenant. It's a very pretty thing. It's a very, very pretty thing, actually. You've got your little door in the front. And let's take a look at the inside and show you where all the traps go. You don't open the Ark? Have the movies taught you nothing? Anyway, about that time we were contacted by Kyle Raven, an illusionist from Singapore. He needed something very special to close his Halloween show. He said, I want to escape from a giant fan. This was going to be a challenge. Then about a year later, August of 2013, the landlord came to us and said, you know, I don't know that I really want to rent the place anymore. I think I'm going to sell it. Hang on, Sparky. Not again, not again. This can't be happening again. The economy was down. The banks weren't lending any money.
So your business does what now? I'm sorry, there's no check mark for that on my form. Goodbye.
So we decided to buckle down, dip into our resources, and on September 5th, 2013, we bought the place. It became Smoky Mountain Magic's forever home. And once we got things set up the way we like them, we got back to work. The next couple of years were kind of crazy, but we made it all happen.
wanted to shoot a bunny, you got it.
Then we were introduced to a magical being from Norway. Her name, Rebella Hex. Rebella Hex is a theme park show with a very specific look and feel. It ties into the history of the area and ties into the fact that she is a witch. That woman turned my workshop inside out and upside down, time after time after time. Sometimes we were taking classic illusions and giving them a twist that would work for Rebella. Sometimes we were inventing them from scratch. But all of the props had to seem like part of her world. Rebella got a hold of us, she needed 2 items for their show. The next year, we built 15 illusions. Over the course of the build, a lot of things changed. The director decided this, the designer decided that, the script got changed, this actress is dropping out, that one's stepping in, so the dimensions of the magic have to change. By the time it was all finalized, the only thing that never changed was the deadline. And we got it all done in about 7 weeks. That was an adventure. And that about brings us up to the present. Currently, we're building new stuff. Trying to keep the old stuff in stock. Waiting to see what Rebella's got in mind for this year. Now that the TV show's been green-lighted and all the other people that we're building projects for, it's gonna be crazy. Well, we're working on new projects, as always. Some big, some small, some even bigger. There's a number of original projects in the archives that I'd love to take another crack at during this anniversary year. And of course, there's always those wouldn't this be cool ideas that seem to crop up. So, what does the future hold? No idea. When we started out way back then, we never expected to be where we are now. So, in another decade? Who knows? Well, I need to thank a whole bunch of folks. Starting with my folks. They made me what I am today. My wife, Toby, my inspiration, and one of the biggest reasons I do what I do. Family, friends, my occasional helpers. They are the we at Smoky Mountain Magic. There have been a number of them in and out of here over the years. Each one of them, special in their own way. But the biggest thanks has to go to you, the clients. I mean, you folks make me stretch, keeping me on my toes, pushing me to be the very best I can be, update, improve, force me to think differently. Without you folks, we wouldn't still be here. 10 years for Smoky Mountain Magic. It's been a roller coaster of a ride. But don't lift that lap bar, y'all. This ride ain't over yet. This has been fun. I gotta get back to work. Thank you so much from Dan Wolf at Smoky Mountain Magic.